Hazbin Hotel is a show made by Vivian Medrano, aka Vivzipop. It focuses on a hotel made to rehabilitate sinners in hopes that they will get into heaven, rather than eternal suffering. It started in 2019 with its pilot, but it got picked up in 2024 by Amazon. Now the show has had problems ever since it was released, with rumors about the creator, issues with the fandom, and arguments as to if it's still indie animation. But that's not really what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the show itself. Now this isn't going to be about why I hate Hazbin Hotel, but I won't be glazing it either. It'll just be about what I and others think are the biggest problems of the show and how I think they could be fixed. I interviewed Lamau TV to get the perspective of someone who's a very big fan of the show and has dealt with other fans of the show before. I've decided to just call them Bubble throughout the video for simplicity. I want to preface everything I say in this video by saying I am not a professional. There's a lot that goes into making a show, and these are just my opinions as to how the big problems could be fixed. I don't want to demean anyone who enjoys or works on the show. That being said, this is Now, the writing is the biggest point of error in the show, with many of my friends and fans of the show labeling it the biggest flaw, as well as pacing. Sometimes it feels too slow, while
other times it gives us no time to linger on what has been said.
Bubble said they thought that the writing was the biggest flaw, saying the writing can be very funny in some places but half-baked in others. The show has a reputation for having bad dialogue.
I'm about to end your fucking life.
But what else would you expect from a show with 7 main characters, with many of the villains getting focus as well? It leads to stuff like Vox being shown as very weak and insecure from his very first on-screen appearance.
He'd be powerless without the other bees.
Please. And then having no demonstration of how powerful he really is until season 2, or Lute, who wants to kill all sinners, being pacified once Abel, who she hasn't respected up till this point, telling her to stop. Now let's compare it to another show, The Amazing Digital Circus. In TADC, they give all 7 of their characters proper arcs and let them grow over time, while still being able to focus on their 2 main characters, Jax and Pomni. Zubul has moments where they express their need for a body they're comfortable in, but then they're unable to find it within the toy box that Kane has given them. But after talking with Kane, who doesn't really help, and Gangle, they are able to find comfort in the fact that they can change based on how they're feeling at any given time. We have explored Ragatha's fear that she may be pushing Pomni away, and Kinger's struggle with sanity. Granted, they have less side characters and are quite contained within a few spaces, but they are still able to have these proper arcs play out for all of their characters, while people still complain that they're focusing on the main characters too much. Bubble agreed with the ADC having better writing, saying, "Although not perfect, I think it did a better job at explaining the motives of the characters and why they act the way they do. The show also has a natural mystery to it, whereas with Hazbin, that only existed in the pilot era. The most obvious fix would be to give them more episodes in a season so that they have time to properly develop all these stories. But that seems to be out of their control. The amount of episodes in a season is determined by Amazon and how much they're willing to pay for. I feel like the bigger problem is the number of characters. Their arcs seem to be too much of a focus rather than the actual story of the show. To fix this, they could focus on those characters a bit less, having those moments of development as breaks from the story rather than being the focus. Speaking of the characters, there's one glaring issues with all the characters in the show. Why are they all so red? I swear, all of the characters, with some exceptions, seem to have that same red tint to them. While I am pretty sure I understand why, it doesn't change the fact that every frame has that same red tint. If they release some sort of Hazbin Hotel coloring book, for adults of course, I feel like your red pencil would be down to a nub by the very first page. The fuck is that? I'm pretty sure the reason why it's all so red is because the show takes place in the first ring of hell, the Pride Ring. In the Helliverse, there are different rings to hell. Each ring of the Helliverse's version of hell has a different primary color to it to help distinguish them all from each other. And the Pride Ring is obviously red. The problem is we are yet to see any of the other rings get any sort of focus in Hazbin Hotel. They do get some focus in Hell of a Boss, which I do recommend watching. Meaning no blue, no green, no yellow, just red. I have seen someone bring up a solution to this. So all credit for this next idea goes to Twins Inc. on YouTube. Go check out their video on it, which I will link down below, for more information on the actual color theory of it all. The solution is to vary the shade of red, because all the problems from it come from the fact that it's all very much the same type of red. Give some people a deeper red, and give others a more brighter, almost orange shade of red. Angel Dust is known for his sexual nature, so give some blue, the color of the lust ring, to him. Add some green, the color of greed, to Husk, who is known for gambling. You can make the actual sinner version of them the same exact color, just make their outfit representative to their personality. Just stop with all the red. This is what I feel is one of the biggest problems in the show. One thing I have considered is that they all swear because they are in hell. They are not going to be kind, they're not going to be compassionate, they're going to say what they want when they want. The only problem with that is that the angels swear too.
I'm gonna shit my pants. What the fuck?
I understand Adam and Lut swearing because they're meant to be different than the other angels. They enjoy killing, they enjoy fucking, they enjoy swearing. But what I don't understand is when these pure souls like Emily and Abel are saying fuck and shit all the time. It doesn't make sense to me. The big problem that it causes is the fact that it takes away all of the power of the swear. When Charlie calls Katie Killjoy a bitch, everybody gasps. She just said something bad. But it doesn't seem bad because people keep on saying it in the show. My way of fixing this would be to vary the way that people swear in the show. I mean, Angel Dust and Cherry Bomb can still swear all they want because that fits their character, but Alistair, he's a radio demon. I have experience in radio because of my college course, so it doesn't really make sense when he swears. So when he swears, it could censor out with static. Or he could just not swear, you know? Vox keeps up appearances, so maybe he wouldn't swear when in public, but he would swear around Velvet and Valentino, excessively just to show his disconnect from his TV persona and his persona in real life. Angels could have cutesy swear replacements like flip or poop. Except Adam and Luke, they would still say fuck. Now, I've just been giving a bunch of general stuff, but what would be a big fix? What would allow the show to flourish? Well, all the credit for this goes to Bubble, because during my interview with them, they said, around the release of the Hazbin pilot, they released a comic for Alistair and a comic for Angel Dust. They explained plot points that the pilot couldn't, like how Angel met Vaggie and Charlie. They could do the same thing for the current characters of Hazbin. Yeah! A comic would help with most, if not all, of the problems that I've mentioned in this video. It would give the storylines more time to breathe. The character designs could be more detailed due to the still panels. And it could help cut down on the swearing too, since the speech bubbles are limited, and it would make the writers consider the wording of the character's dialogue more. Maybe it would all be physical comics that they sell to help fund the show and help convince Amazon that betting on an indie project was the best bet. Maybe it would all be online on Amazon Prime and would have occasional multi-issue physical releases to help fans of the show make collections. However it would release, it would help it immensely. So, here's the answer to Just keep making the comics. Thank you. Bye!